quest, or is that something even possible?
We just haven't seen that much on the commercial side, that much of a need for it.
Okay.
I mean, when we first brought these in-house, we knew that the international might want something like that. We knew that police, PD might want. So we brought in a very small number initially. I think about half of those are still there. So we just haven't seen the demand to to go to it yet. You know, it's just you're adding weight, and then on a PCC, you know, we can throw them on the MP5 out there. You really don't see it for whatever reason on PCCs or really on the pistols with the sparking too much. So it's, you know, that being tie, it's not as big of a deal as the other one, but.
On the Range podcast with Rick Hogg and Mark Kelley.
Thank you, Arnold. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to On the Range podcast with Warhawk Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host and friend from Warhawk.com, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Big shout out to Recoil Magazine for inviting us out here to CanCon 2025 here in South Carolina. Super excited. We've got Porter with HUXWRX Safety Co. We'll get into some branding stuff there. Ingenious. Wish I had thought of that back in the day. So, Porter, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So what's the latest and greatest HUXWRX has going on?
So we have a lot going on. SHOT Show is going to be a very fun time for us. There's a lot of stuff we've been working on the commercial side as well as our military side that we're excited to share with some of the public. But yeah, we've been going on all cylinders all year.
Awesome, dude. As you guys always do. And Rick Elder, if you guys are you should be listening to the show. We miss you, man. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that. But anyway, you got a couple products out here. You want to tell us what you got out here at the table for us?
Absolutely. So I wanted to bring our 5.56K out. This is kind of the can that really started the trajectory of our company.
Okay.
It won the FBI HRT contract a couple of years back, and that kind of it validated what we were trying to do, and kind of the whole line was built off of this guy right here. And then now a couple of years later, we came out with the Flow 9K tie. We just launched this one at SHOT Show. Very, very light, 9mm can, flow through, you know, all the good stuff. And it just won the NASGW Suppressor of the Year. So kind of
Wow.
kind of big news there. But yeah it's again, just going off this technology, and we just keep getting better and better every year.
Awesome.
Wow.
Now, when it comes to mounting your suppressors, do you guys have proprietary mounts? What's kind of, you running the general standard thread pitch? What are you guys doing there?
Depending on the suppressor. So our flow line most of the time has our proprietary muzzle device that goes in the back. Now we do have some hub compatible cans, and then we make a hub adapter as well.
Okay.
And this one's going to have our hub piston housing adapter in it.
Yep.
But then the majority of the market pistons and direct threads and everything will fit in there, as well as if you want to take everything out, you can put a normal hub direct thread in the back and run it like that.
Okay. And which one is that?
That's the Flow 9K tie.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So how's the show going, and what do you expect to get out of it this year?
It's good. Love coming to South Carolina. The weather's perfect out here.
Beautiful out here, yeah.
It's getting a little chilly in Salt Lake. But yeah, today we're doing the VIP thing, so we don't have too many shooters, but we're able to spend a lot more time with the end user and kind of explain what we are and what we're about. A lot of times when you get these, 1,000 people on a day, those conversations get a lot shorter just because of time and the size of the line. But so we love today's like today. It really gives time to focus on the product and explain what we're all about.
Now, have you seen a bunch of orders, with all this tax stamp stuff and all this? Have you seen any trend in the industry where you're able to sell these more, or is there an uptick? Anything going on? There's
a little bit of an uptick. Obviously, we just came through some brands have said that, not necessarily suppressor brands, but some gun brands have said it's one of the, third quarter was not the greatest for gun store sales. Okay. So when those dollars dry up, these kind of follow suit a little bit. We've definitely seen a tick up in orders that have been pre-booked for later in the fourth quarter, but we're still waiting as much as everyone else is to see a major, major rush. But I imagine that you'll see, November, December, and especially January, we're going to see just a tidal wave.
Well, with the elections yesterday or the other day, that's not going to hurt.
Yeah, for sure.
That, and then when the stamp goes away, so that'll be like buy now, because you're saving $200 right there from the get-go.
Yep.
Now, it'll be curious to see if we go back to having long waits or if their couple-day windows still apply. So
I'm interested to see what the ATF does with that. I know part of their mandate was they have to keep wait times low, but then a little bit of a fear is they're going to maybe stretch out wait times in November, December, and say, hey, this is our barometer. It's 3 weeks now, not 3 days.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone's just everyone has an ATF agent that's told them this, that, and the other, but
God.
who knows how true any of it is,
It's, you love those guys, but it's like nobody knows it. The ones I talk to all go, we don't know what West Virginia does.
Yeah.
Right. That's typically the answer. So here you've got somebody that's employed by the ATF, can't tell you what the other half of the ATF is doing,
Yep.
and you're sitting there going, I just want to get my product, dude.
100%.
How hard is that?
Yeah.
And, you're sitting there putting in for 3 items. Well, you would think all 3 would get approved at the same time. How do they not, right? Like, I
Yeah.
submit all 3 at the same, but then I'm getting this mismatch.
Sometimes it's tough. I mean, I know there's that's kind of the thing too, is if you go to a gun store counter, you're kind of at the mercy on who's submitting your stuff with how knowledgeable they are as well.
Yeah,
Some of
that's
the
true.
better
Yeah.
ones will batch it together, and so anyone experiencing that knows some tricks to help raise the probability you're going to get all those back at the same time in a quick manner. But it's kind of a again, they're trying to clean it up a little bit with some of the language that they're trying to do by next year, and so hopefully it gets a little bit better for everyone after that.
Yeah.
Well, I know you just launched this out at SHOT. Anything else big and new coming from you guys?
Our mill guys are always working on cool stuff that we can't talk about. Like I said, hopefully SHOT Show will be able to share some of those with you guys. But they have been crushing it on their end, and then that trickles down to our side. So we're very excited for the next couple months.
Awesome.
Wow.
Have you guys seen, so we'll take the mill piece out of it, right? Because those guys are kind of doing their own things. Those items may or may not be available to the public, correct? But on more your commercial side, which kind of goes hand in hand with the LE, do you have any restricted LE items, or is kind of the LE running commercial stuff and then they getting a byproduct over?
That's a great question. So it kind of depends on the department. Some of the bigger departments, the biggest thing we've seen is like some of our 7.62 stuff. We can make that can in stainless. Now it makes it more expensive, so it's kind of outside that price point that the commercial market likes to see, so we don't do too many of them. Like a stainless 7.62 can or a stainless 9 can, because they don't want the sparking, or if it's a big department that has snipers running nods, they don't want the sparks from the titanium. So in those instances, we can just make these in a different material, and it is more expensive because we're not doing it on a big scale, but absolutely.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point. It's I would say for your average consumer, they're buying a can for the noise reduction. They're not looking at it from the tactical application, hey, for the dust mitigation, flash suppression.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, if I am out there at night, if you can even find a range that'll allow you to shoot at night, right? Or maybe if you got your own property, and I do get some sparks out, am I worried about somebody seeing my flash and going, oh, there's the guy I want to shoot at, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Hogg's going to go, boop, oh, what's that? Bang.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sleeping now.
Exactly. So some of the stuff, and again, the consumer decides what they care about, and it's kind of, but yeah, we get some of that too. Like, hey, this sparks, and it's like, well, I don't think that rabbit's going to shoot back, but hey, I could be wrong.
Well, no, and I think that's an important point. Is some people don't fully understand what they're buying and what's happening with it. So depending on what materials we're using, hey, if we do have the titanium, you might see, whether you want to call it sparking, flashing, 6-1, half a dozen of different verbiage, right?
Yeah.
You might see something extra come out of the muzzle of this thing.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So.
And we do see it tampered down, like I said. Any tie that's just inherent in the material. So any tie printed or otherwise suppressor is gonna emit some of those sparks. But we do see it tamping down later. The more you use the can. And then, but again, it is to the end user. If that's something they care about, totally understand. I've taken ours out. I've shot pigs under nods a lot of times. It's not usually when you see it. It's your buddy who's standing away will see it. You usually don't see it under the
No, you're not going to see it. It's going to be the guy next door going, "Hey man, that thing's throwing out spark," and it's really sparks. It's not flames, right? So it's not really a flash. It's just like some sparks of that titanium, rolling out there. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
But again, it's the consumer decides what they care about, and then we offer a product, compared to that. But.
So if somebody wanted, let's say, the 9 can in a stainless, is that something you regularly offer, or would that have to be like a special request, or is that something even possible?
We just haven't seen that much on the commercial side, that much of a need for it.
Okay.
I mean, when we first brought these in-house, we knew that the international might want something like that. We knew that police, PD might want. So we brought in a very small number initially, I think about half of those are still there, so we just haven't seen the demand to to go to it yet. You know, it's just you're adding weight, and then on a PCC, you know, we can throw them on the MP5 out there. You really don't see it for whatever reason on PCCs or really on the pistols with the sparking too much. So it's, you know, that being tie, it's not as big of a deal as the other one, but we do have them. It's just we haven't commercially made them available yet because we haven't seen the demand signal for it.
No, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So tell the viewer, listeners, a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into this business?
So I came from finance, actually. I had an insurance agency, and then I went into mortgages. And then I kind of saw the downturn start to happen, and I just talked to my wife. I was like, look, I've been chasing money. I'm not happy. I see a downturn coming. I kind of want to put some feelers out. So for a couple of months, I put in, you know, I was thinking of going into tech sales, put out some feelers, and then this job came up. And then I've been in the reserves for 15 years, so I kind of have and been shooting my whole life, so that kind of helped in the interview process. But I came in here, and we have grown exponentially since, and it's been just a blessing, and I've loved every minute of it.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah,
hey, you said some key things that really you can't drive home enough. Chasing money doesn't mean that it's going to be happiness.
No,
right?
It definitely does not.
So I can have a boatload of cash. I'm sitting there miserable, not at a job that I'm happy doing.
Yeah.
What good is that for anybody? It's not. So now you got some job satisfaction over there with HUXWRX and, you know, doing some great stuff, following your passion. And hats off to you. So that's a huge kind of life lesson for some of the viewer listeners out there.
Yeah.
So
no, it's awesome. And it took a little bit, you know, everything kind of fell into place, but 100%, if I could go back and tell, 25-year-old Porter, well, I wouldn't really want to mess up the time, it's like,
you got to learn some things.
Just let it go.
You got to learn some things.
Got to learn some things, but
because you might be sitting there going, man, I want to chase that money. No, dude, you don't want to chase that money.
But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and we have it's just, we're doing some really cool stuff at Hux, and the people we work with, I love everyone I work with. We have such a good group going right now.
You guys do have a tight crew, man. Without a doubt. And I got to go back to Rick, and he better listen to the show. If not, I'll sit there and have a chat with him. But the whole branding of the safety company, when we were sitting there chatting with them.
Brilliant.
I mean, that takes you from yes, you're still in the firearm space, a safety company. Nobody turns down a safety company.
No.
Right? We're going to sit there and listen to, you're a safety company?
They do safety.
Yes, exactly. Right. You got the red. You got the orange lanyard.
It says it right here.
We're safe.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yes.
Rick took a lot of flack for that initially, and now obviously it's been a definite benefit. But he was telling us the other day, he was talking to some of the inside guys, and he was telling us a story like, this is the comment I saw on Reddit, and it was like, this is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. So I'm gonna screenshot that, print it out, and put it on a plaque for him so he can put it on his wall.
100%.
Because he goes back to that all the time. Like, I was told this is the dumbest thing anyone's ever done, and here we are.
It's genius, right? Because when you look at the Warhog brand, I had to stick something at the end of Warhog, right? But what do you stick? Am I consulting? Am I this? Am I defense? Am I? I guess we'll stick tactical as the general. Dude, I should have been.
Oh, that was big. Everybody was something tactical. Yeah.
I should have been the Warhawk Safety Company.
Yep.
Because then all your social platforms, they're a safety company.
Yep.
Now, granted, until you start putting your pictures up and they go, what's this magical? By the way, this thing is super light.
6.8 ounces with nothing in the back of it.
Yeah.
It's incredibly light.
But it's pure marketing genius, and more people in the industry need to kind of start looking outside the parameters. All right, so you got some schmuckles on Reddit that goes, dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
You're not being infringed from all the other garbage that's out there. So I wish I had grabbed it, to be honest with you. I should have been a safety company, but I guess I missed that mark.
Yeah.
Well, that was just the first step in Rick's master plan. I mean, we got a lot coming out. We have a warfighter lab that's about to open up. It's in the final stages. We've been working on it all year. He's put a lot of time into that and put a lot of key people in place to make that successful, to where, tier 1 and 2 units, SWAT teams can come in and, we can change it's a ginormous range, and we can change the variables where it's gas, it's the light, it's the, so they're getting all sorts of feedback, and then they have, they can get their heart rate up, and we can monitor that and see how everything's affecting them. So, Rick had a long-term plan in place, and it's starting to come to fruition. It's really fun to watch.
Where's the Warfighter Lab at?
It's just, so we We're in a building in Mill Creek, just south of Salt Lake, and
Okay.
we just got the building behind us.
Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
so most of that building's dedicated to that, and it's they're going to do a grand opening on it soon. I'll give you guys some info on it if you guys want to come out to
No,
it.
yeah,
It's gonna
absolutely.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. What's the website?
www.huxworks.com.
Okay.
So spell that for people because they might screw up the spelling.
That
right?
is HUXWRX.
There we go.
Yeah, we'll put a hyperlink in the show notes to help out our crew
Yes.
members and those guys. Yeah. So awesome stuff, man. We got to go to the booth here in a little bit, or maybe tomorrow or something, and check that out and see.
Yeah, at least
see
try
what's-
to. Yeah, we'll grab the camera over there. Try to get some
content.
B-roll you guys doing. Because
Yeah.
the thing for me, I love, especially when you're looking at suppressors. To me, it's all about the audible.
Yeah.
Right? You actually go over there.
Yeah.
Because not all suppressors are created equally.
They're not. No.
One could argue, oh yeah, this is ear safe.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe it
Yeah.
isn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to do that.
So everyone out there, thank you for making this part of your day. Make sure you swing by ontherangepodcast.com and check out the crew membership. It's a little red button. All you got to do is push it because the show continues over on the crew members page, Rick.
For the rest of you guys, don't forget, be an athlete, be dangerous, and we'll see you on the range.